Hello lovely people, hope you're all doing well today. My name is Dee, welcome to the channel. I pulled a few cards to start off with, sorry, just getting comfy. And there's a lot of yellow in these cards, so I'm getting like a sunshine theme. Now, I thought instead of dinging the bell today, we'll go a little bit different and we'll do the 512 hertz, so we'll see how this goes. So we'll ding the bell and then we'll get into it. Here we go. Oh, I'm liking that. That had a good energy about it. Right, so as I say, I pulled a few cards. The weather report today, it's a little bit cooler in the UK. Just in case you're wondering. Right, so 5 of Wands here. I've got coming out of a sort of energy of arguments, maybe a few battles. This could be with certain people in your life, or it could be the way of the world at the moment, and that's more what I'm getting. I'm getting we're all going through a bit of a uncertain time, shall we say. So there's a lot of arguments taking place, a lot of who's right, who's wrong, you know, who knows the most, that type of energy. The good news is, though, with the rest of the cards indicating at the moment that there's a speedy sort of energy coming in. What do I mean by that? I mean a more loving, nurturing sort of energy. Now, the powers that be, shall we call them, or just a general overall sort of description, would like us all to think that, you know, the world's in chaos. Everybody should probably be a bit miserable, but I beg to differ. And, you know, in a more realistic way of what you're dealing with on your day-to-day basis, you know, people who don't look outside the box, shall we say. You can call them NPCs or people that aren't awake or whatever you want to call it, you know, are probably getting caught up in a lot of that, you know, sort of energy, like doom and gloom, the world's gone to the dogs, everything's in chaos, you know, that kind of energy. However, with this reading, I think anyone watching this reading, you know, that has resonated towards this reading, I don't think you see things that way. Obviously, we have our day-to-day things where, you know, we get caught up in stuff. But overall, I'm getting you try to look on the brighter side of life or find out, you know, delve deeper into issues, shall we say. You know, why is this happening? Why am I feeling like this? Why is, you know, that kind of thing. You ask why. The good news is, like I said before, there's some sort of important news coming in. And this is quite a quick energy. I'm getting as we go through July, yeah, there's going to be a change in frequency. So what I'm going to say is the people still on the timeline of doom and gloom, yeah, probably aren't going to sort of go well with this frequency coming in. Whoever's watching this has got a more heightened awareness about things. So this is a big push forward, a big good news, arrows of good news I'm getting, yeah. Or we could call it the sunshine after the darkness. We could call it many different things. Yeah, arrows of love, arrows of light. With this, so moving through the cards, I've got wisdom. So I do feel that you are a wise soul. Yeah, you've been, especially over the last few years, however long you've been on this process, but especially over the last few years, what we've all gone through. You know, there's been some big shake-ups in the world. There's been, you know, new thought patterns, new ways of trying to survive, you know, and thrive. There hasn't been a lot of thriving up to this point over the last few years, I'm getting. The good news is I think things are about to change. I also feel that, I think I put that in a few reasons ago, you know, there's a new, I got the Wheel of Fortune one, I think it is. I can't remember what I called it, but I started off with the Wheel of Fortune cards, and I'm kind of getting that energy here. All them experiences that you've gone through has made you wise. So I'm going to put out there, I don't know what it is, but I've got a funny feeling that, and you might be feeling this too, some big shift is about to happen on a world scale. Yeah, on the global. Something is completing itself. Yeah, some sort of cycle that we've been going through. I want to say, because we started off with the 5, over the last 5 to 6 years, yeah? Or should I say 5 to 8 years? So think back to where you were between, what sort of cycle you were going through between 5 and 8 years ago. Yeah, I'm going to say, and that's what I'm getting coming back in, some sort of completed cycle within that time frame. Yeah. Some sort of wisdom that was gained, some knowledge in your life personally, I'm getting. Whatever you learn in that process there is bringing in fruits. Yeah. You're about to be rewarded for them efforts in some sort of way. Yeah. So if there's been a lot of sticky patches, a lot of battles, a lot of, you know, banging your head against a brick wall and like, don't tell me you haven't been feeling that way too, because at some points I'm sure you have. We've also got the Salamander, which is a transformational card as well. Yeah. So I'm also getting a lot of healing has taken place within this, whoever's watching this collective who watches this. Now, this will be a timeless reading, so whenever you're getting the reading. But as I say, you know, July, if you're getting this reading this month, then this will be a strong energy. Yeah, I feel a collective is moving forward with this energy. So yeah, have a think where you were 5 to 8 years ago. I know where we all were as a collective, like 5, 6 years ago, you know, between that barrier. You know, from 2018, 2019 onwards, it's been a bit, you know, yeah. I don't need to tell you, you already know. You already know. Right, so I'm going to pull a couple of these. Magical toolkit. Right, any messages off this? Yeah, truth. I feel like you know the truth, you see the truth, you speak, you know, hopefully you're speaking your truth. But embrace honesty, seek clarity in all that you do. This is what I feel that this process has been about the last few years, you know. Finding out what's real, what's real to you, what's truthful, what's, you know, who you are, what sort of person you are. Going against the grain. Guess what? Going to bring the black sheep in here again, because I'm getting that kind of energy here with you. Yeah. Sometimes I'm getting the overwhelming feeling of, you know, it hasn't always been easy, maybe being the odd one out. You could have been the one in your family, you know, that everyone's sort of looking at and thinking, you know, they've gone a bit crazy, or yeah, I'm getting there, especially when we went through, like, the sort of thing, you know, the big C, with masks and, you know, the way some people went. I've got, with this, I'm going to say collective, yeah. I'm getting a lot of you went against the grain, probably didn't wear the mask, probably didn't, you know, do certain things. And that's probably caused a lot of grief, or you've probably lost people along the way, you know, through your views and beliefs. But I get that you've held strong, and even if you didn't do that, you know, when you went through it, I get the feeling that at some point there, you woke up to what was going on. Yeah, it might have woken you up. There's been a lot of people who have been on this sort of awakening process a long time, so maybe seeing it, you know, for what it was long before it come in. But I also get a strong feeling that some people, it took that to go, hang on a minute, something's not quite right. Yeah. And that's good. That's a good thing, because some other people went through all that and, you know, just didn't even acknowledge that there was something wrong with it. Yeah. Right, ambition elixir. Fuel your desires, pursue your goals with determination. Yeah, this determination thing, you know, I'm determined to, you know, do what's right, speak my truth, you know, follow my desires, you know, against maybe a lot of the time some serious pushback. Yeah. Now, as I said before, I've got a feeling, a strong feeling, and maybe some of you do too, that we're about to go through something else. I don't think it'll be the same as what we went through. I'm getting more of a feeling of a lot of different things at the same time. Yeah, I could be wrong. You know, I've been wrong a lot of times before. But that's the sort of feeling I'm getting. I don't know what exactly, but I've got a feeling of culmination of stuff. With this completeness as well, I feel a lot of completed cycles will be coming up. Yeah. So that tells me that a lot of things will be coming together. Yeah. I also get a feeling that that'll be waking a lot more people up. So the people viewing this now, or this resonating with you, whoever that is, you know, it might only be one person, it might be, you know, someone in the future that looks back, I don't know. But what I'm getting is, you're the strong one. Yeah, even if you don't feel like that, people are going to be looking to you because you had the balls to go, no, you know, something's wrong with that. That's what I'm getting. So all them experiences you went through, whatever that was, because, you know, we all went through a lot. to some of the people that you look like you were losing your mind, going crazy, you know, whatever the case may be, there's going to be certain people now coming back in maybe with questions, or there will be, you know, in a future period. All you need to do there, yeah, what I'm getting is speak your truth. Yeah, they will find their own path. You don't have to sit there and go, oh, blah, 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 you know, this happened more. No. Whatever question they're coming to you with, just answer it as truthfully as possible, even if that means, oh, I don't really know about that. Yeah. You might get an inspiration from, like, for instance, if you've been watching podcasts or you've been watching certain people, yeah, you might say to them, I don't really know about that, but I can refer you to a podcast or someone that was talking about that issue. Yeah, maybe have a look at that and, you know, see what you think. You know, that kind of thing. Rather than, well, I don't really know about that, but what I do know, I'm going to tell you this. And, you know, that kind of thing. If you know something about it, that's fine. But if you don't, you know, refer them to someone that maybe does, is what I'm getting. Yeah. Creativity elixir. Spark your imagination, unleash your artistic spirit. What I'm getting off this is I feel a lot of people also during, you know, the times of lockdown and that, you know, found new creative outlets. Maybe some of you have made a business out of that, or, you know, turned that into some sort of, you know, creative outlet. You know, you've turned it into something lucrative, or it gave you inspiration to turn it into something lucrative. Yeah. Also, what I'm getting is, though, you could have had a business or something that was shut down over that time. Yeah, and you've had to get creative with things, you know, or maybe lost a job, you know, lost your income, that sort of thing. But maybe you learned something new there, or that's the sort of idea that it gave you, you know. I also feel that for that sort of creative endeavour, maybe that's coming back up again now. You know, maybe you learned to do something during lockdown, and maybe now you've got the confidence to go, do you know what? I'm going to, you know, do something with that idea, you know, a side hustle or something. But I feel that'll go well, you know, for those of you that were doing that. Right, what do we want to pull, Spirit? Okay, I'm getting... Right, let's see if I can find these. Ooh. Okay, right, so we're going to have a couple of these ones. Right, so it says, at this moment in your life, it might be better to pause, think deeply about this situation, and take some time out to assess the situation. Now is the time to plant seeds, not harvest them. Solitude and inner work can really lay the groundwork for an abundant harvest in the future. Right, well, that could be, you know, at this moment, maybe you are pondering something, you know, taking a bit of time out. Maybe that's what you have been doing as well, or it could be, you know, what I've just been going on about there, you know, about lockdowns and stuff. That time out to assess things, you know, an abundancy now, you know, coming through that, because we have some speedy news forward. Right, I've got a few here actually, so I'm just going to read them. Right, man is the only creature that refuses to be what he is. Give me a fruitful error anytime, full of seeds, bursting with its own fertile truth. Right, your path may be blocked, but maybe there's a reason. Are you blocking yourself, or maybe in need of a fresh perspective? Sometimes we are blocked simply because the timing isn't right. So yet again, any blockages there, it's for a reason. This whole, what I've just been going on about as well was like a blockage. It was a stop, full stop what you're doing. What are you doing? And then you may be feeling a little defeated, or that things are falling apart around you at this moment. Your light is still shining, dear friend. Sometimes life gives you challenges, but know that our lives here give us experiences. How do we overcome if we do not experience? Yes, so yet again with all these cards, stop, whatever, blockages, errors, that kind of thing. We experienced a lot. Yeah, we're still experiencing a lot, but them experiences that we're having are bringing us into, wisdom. Yeah, you've gained that wisdom. You've gained that experience. Or maybe you're still having that sort of experience where you are blocked, at the moment. But this energy here is saying unblock yourself. Yeah, or you're being unblocked. And we've got the butterfly as well, transformation. Yeah, being unburdened, as it were. Ugh, I had to pause then, I had the sneezes. Yeah, I'm getting with that sneeze then. It was a powerful sneeze. I turned it off because I didn't think you wanted to hear it. But what I'm getting is release with that sneeze. Yeah, a beautiful release. I also get a feeling of, with this butterfly, being released out of that chrysalis. Yeah, like, pew, flown. Right, okay, Spirit, what are we pulling next? Anything, or... I've got to pull one of these. Oh. One of the miracles of being human is that we can decide what causes us pain and pleasure. Yes, yet again. Yeah. We could have sat in our house during all that time, or, sat there and thought, oh my God, why is this happening to me? I get a feeling that a lot of people were, but I also get a feeling that some, whoever's watching this as well in particular, oh, well, what can I learn from this? What can I experience through this? I've got some time off now. Conscious feeling, yeah. That's what I was just saying. Consciously, are you going to let it cause you pain, or are you going to let it cause you pleasure? Cause you? Yeah, cause. Right, okay. You know what I mean. Right, I'm just going to pull some tarot cards and see if we get any more messages, and then... Oh. Right, now I don't know whether you can see this at the bottom, so I'll put it there. Yeah. So I've got breaking chains as well. I've also got breaking chains on vices, addictions, thought patterns, being stuck. Yeah. That chain's broken. Facing the monster. I also feel with what's going to be coming up in whatever form that, that takes in your life personally. I think you've got more wisdom now through these past experiences that you've had over the last 5 to 8 years to sort of break any chains, you know, that you're still sort of chained to, if that makes sense. Right, security, yeah. 2 things with this card. 1, I do feel that you'll be finding more security, being more secure in yourself. But what I also feel is that security could have shaken you up, or it could do, yeah. So what I'm getting is, sometimes if we're in a secure bubble and nothing happens, we stay there, we don't grow. Yeah, and sometimes it takes that big shake-up of some description to go, do you know what? You've got everything that you want here apart from growth. Yeah. Something needs to be shaken up in that security for growth. And that's what I'm getting off this card. That's not to say that everything's going to crumble and, you know, you're going to lose everything. That's not what I mean. I mean, something that's been held on to, yeah, for like a security blanket. Yeah, you could experience, or you have experienced, take it as it resonates, some sort of downfall there, you know, in your secure bubble to bring you out of that cocoon, as it were, into the butterfly. Yeah. Yeah, fast move forward again. Yeah, coming in fast. I do feel, as we started off with, like, July, or for the rest of this year, I'm going to say, but I think as we move through more of July, we're going to see a lot of changes very fast. The rest of the year, I've got a feeling of, you know, really moving forward with something, or energy freeing up. You know, it's just going to go in whatever description, you know, globally. And when I say globally, you know, we all live our own individual lives on the globe, or if you're a flat earther, you know, it doesn't matter what shape the earth is, to be honest. That's how I feel anyway. Doesn't matter whether it's flat or a ball, does it really? You know, we all live here. We're, you know, it doesn't affect us, you know, whether it's round or flat. Yeah, putting yourself in a box. I've got or being put in a box. Yeah. With this card I'm getting, it doesn't matter what box you're put in, you've got a light that shines. That light doesn't die within you. It doesn't, you know, something in you is lit up, some sort of creativity. Yeah, your consciousness. You've probably felt all your life that there's something more to life. Yeah, it's not about being stuck in that secure bubble. Yeah, there's more to life to experience. We're the only ones that put ourselves in boxes. Yeah, this one you got, man is the only creature that refuses to be what he is. Yeah, don't let anyone put you in a box. Don't put yourself in that box. Yeah, dreaming big, a way out of the sorrow. Yeah, some sort of completion with this sort of energy. Yeah, the doubt, the not seeing clearly, the confusion, the, you know, all that sort of darkness we went through. I don't feel, with whoever's watching this or whoever's drawn to this reading, I don't feel that you're going to let yourself be put back in that box, or that, uncertainty, that doubt. Yeah, you see through the bullshit. No more bullshit. Right, so on that note, I'm getting you go. What else? Yeah, just go you. Right, do we want to finish? Right, I'm getting finish off on one of these cards here. Just when we think we're finished. Right, so I'm just going to flick them out and we'll finish on these ones. Anything else we need to know, Spirit? Any other messages? Ooh. Any other messages? Oh. Right, I've got a few here. Right, we've got the healing hands here. So there's a lot of healing taking place. When I get this card, I also always think of hands-on healing, or, you know, some sort of healing modality. Maybe that's what you were learning during this period. We've also got the butterfly here. Yeah. So transformation again. That's another confirmation. So if you're seeing butterflies, I've also got receiving healing as well. So, I mean, there's lots of... Oh, that reminds me, actually. Mark Bajerski's healing channel, he does a lot of free energy healing on his channel. He's just launched a new website, so I'll try and put a link down in the description, you know, if you want any crystals, healing tools, that kind of thing. But if we're in need of some healing, yeah, it's all free on YouTube. Mark Bajerski, he'll do you a healing session. Right, ocean depths, mysteries, the unknown, deep emotions. Yes, this is what I'm feeling we're experiencing. This is what we're coming into. More emotions, the unknown, mysteries. Some sort of reward and a temptation, yeah. But I've also got knowledge again. So we've got knowledge and wisdom. And then to finish off, we have got astrological influences. Now, with this one, I always say, you know, check your birth chart out if that resonates. But we have got a lot of strong planetary alignments. So if you wanted any astrological reviews, Big E Astrology, I like to listen to. He's one of them. A few others as well. You know, there's loads of them out there. But so guidance, yeah, over these influences astrologically. Right, lovely people, thank you for viewing me today. If you did get anything out of that, please leave a like or a comment, or consider subscribing if you're still here. Have a beautiful day, whatever you're doing, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye.